I gotta put it on for him too. The mic, relax. I gotta lift it up too. Where you are?
You left me a big mess over here. It's okay. How's the mic? Okay?
Sit up. Just talk. Just talk.
Okay now? All right, anyhow, I live in Deal all year round. Of course, I go to Florida, but I live in Deal. When I come to Brooklyn, it's a culture shock. I mean, the minute I get out of my car, I see two Italianis sharing a cab. One was taking the bumpers, and one was taking the tires. Anyhow, I had to go to, my wife's with me, and she hates Brooklyn worse than I do, and I don't want to offend the Brooklyn people. I really do, but I don't want to offend them. Anyhow, she takes me to the dentist, you know, she goes to the dentist. She says, Dr. Jackie Dweck from Kings Highway, she says, I have to have a tooth pulled. I don't want to stay any longer than I have to. I don't want any gas. I don't want any injections. I don't want any anesthesia. Just do the job. Dr. Dweck with a little flux and said, could you at least show me the tooth? He says, Hurdle, show me your tooth. Talking about Jackie Dweck, God bless him, I love him. I was coming home from California, I had a toothache, I was dying. I said, I gotta go straight to the dentist, I didn't even go home. I have to have a tooth pull, I told him. But I was a little, you know, I'm a mooch. I said, how much do you charge? He says, $300 for 2 minutes work? He said, well, I could make it last a half hour if you want. And forget about booking. You ever go to that shop right on Avenue Y, you know, near McDonald Avenue? Forget about it. I'm waiting in line. I'm at the 22nd guy on line. And one by one by one. Finally, about 40 minutes later, I'm the second one in line. And a particularly nasty woman is in front of me. She wants her green apples in the yellow bag and the white apples in the other bag, and she wants the butter pecan ice cream in the insulated bag, but the vanilla ice cream, she wants it right away to let it melt a little, you know, and she's going on for about, the line's getting longer and longer, right? Finally she said, you did it all wrong, and she started doing it all by herself, another 10 minutes. I'm the next one in line, and I go to the cashier, I says, I want mine bagged alphabetically. As I coming out of the line, I couldn't believe, you know, Brooklyn. I couldn't believe what I saw. I see a big Josh guy stomping on a guy in a wheelchair. The wheelchair is flying, the guy, I went over to the guy and said, what are you doing? He says, this son of a gun handicap tried to park in one of our spaces. True story, by the way. Anyhow, I get home. True story. All my stories. Okay. I get home and it's about from work in the night, very late. I'm in Brooklyn, you know. 8:30, I'm home, and supper's not ready. But I'm used to that. I'm married 52 years. Supper's not. And you're perfect, huh? Wait till you see my wife. Anyhow, she don't even come. She don't care. I meant to go. I mean, anyhow. But I don't mind, but I mind when nobody says Daddy's home, or nobody puts a napkin on, nobody gets off the phone. So I start fighting and my wife throws me out of the house. Now it's about 9:30, where the hell? So I have to go eat. I'm hungry, I'm starved, I'm a dip, I'm out of the house. I go to Edna's on McDonald Avenue near 18th, you know, that kosher deli. I don't know if it's still there, you know. I go there, greasy spoon place. Oh, waitress with a dirty apron, chewing gum, throws the menu. She says, what do you want? I look at the menu, I says, give me some meatloaf and some kind words that she left, you know. 10 minutes later, chewing the gum, she throws the meal. I said, what about the kind words? She said, don't eat the meatloaf. Now I'm really starved. Nowhere to go. So you know those open 24-hour stores, you know, the Pakistani guys, you know? I rush down there, it's about 1:45 now, and he's pulling down the gate. I point to the sign, I says, open 24 hours. He says, not in a row. So, anyhow, Next morning I come out, I see the two Italian guys story. He said, Tony, I want to ask you something. He said, what do you want? He said, I want to ask you something. You like a woman when she talks, she spit all over her mouth? He said, no. He said, you like a woman with her hair hanging out from her? He said, no. He said, you like a woman when she walks the sides of her? He said, no. He said, the way you're sleeping with my wife. Anyhow, on the other side, I got to tell you the story because my son Ellie just walked in. It's the 9:45 show. He comes in 11:15. He don't care. Yeah. That's my son. Anyhow, he's a con man. One of these con men, you know. He's still I remember when he was graduating last year in Flatbush, he told me, Daddy, I want to go to Israel. I said, you want to go? You don't even go to shul. What do you even go to Israel? He said, no, Daddy, I have 17 years, I want to see the light. I said, you want to see the light in Israel? But he's a con man, he called me. I sent him to Israel. And about a week later, he said, Daddy, I need money. I said, you need money? I sent you to Israel, the land of milk and honey. Daddy, I said, you don't need money, just learn, okay? About 2 weeks later, he called me, Dad, I said, I told you I sent you there to learn, you don't need the money. Now, a month later, he's climbing the walls, 30 days past it. He said, Daddy, I need money. I said, you son of a gun. I put $200 in your Kodacha, you never even opened it up. But I tell you what kind of con man he is. That was just the opening to my real story. He's not going to deny it because all my stories are true, by the way. When he was courting his wonderful wife, Lori, J-Dub, but your wonderful wife, Lori. I always knew that gets a laugh. I always use it, especially when she's here. And he was in Atlantic City, and Frank Sinatra was performing in the 500 Club, you know, in those days. And he was sitting in a diner, and Frank Sinatra sitting in the booth, and Elliot goes over to him and says, it's a con man, you know. Hey, Frank, could you do me a favor? I'm going out with this young girl. I'm very seriously in love with her. I want to impress her. Can you come over to my booth and say, hi, El. So Frank's a rough guy. You know, he says, okay, kid, I'm going to do it for you. So about 10 minutes later, Ellie's in the booth with Lori, and Frank Sinatra walks over. He says, hi, El. And Ellie says, Frank, can't you see I'm busy? My granddaughter just got married in Israel, God bless her, but she's a college graduate, PhD. I don't know what the hell she took up, earth science, or desert living, I don't. You know, in Israel, you don't know. And I said, well, how can you end up marrying a guy in a kibbutz? He said, Grandpa, it's easy. I opened up the classified ad, and I saw an ad. Farmer looking for wife with tractor. Please send picture of tractor. But anyhow, while I was in Israel, I see the crazy story. I see a guy fishing in the Dead Sea. I said, what are you, nuts? Nothing lives in the Dead Sea. It's all salt and sodium or whatever they have. He said, no, I catch it. I said, you stupid, how could you catch fish in the Dead? He said, I said, show me. I said, show you how. Give me $100 and I'll show you how. I was already on the mood, but anyhow, I take the rod. I said, by the way, did you catch any fish yet? He said, you're the first one today.